The smell hits you before anything else. Not blood, not chemicals, something worse, something ancient and biological that your brain recognizes before your mind does. Your body knows what it means. Your body wants to leave. You don't leave. You pull the respirator tighter, check the seal around your jaw, and step through the door that the police taped shut 3 days ago. This is where most people stop. You just started. The investigators are done. The detectives took their photos, drew their outlines, collected what they needed. The family has been told to stay away. The neighbors have been told nothing. And somewhere in the chaos of the ordinary world moving around this frozen moment, somebody has to go inside. That somebody is a crime scene cleaner, not a police officer, not a paramedic, not a hazmat technician from some government agency with protocols and backup teams and trauma counselors on speed dial. Just a person in a suit, alone with what was left behind. Here's what the police reports don't include. They don't include the walls. They don't include what gravity does over 3 days in July heat. They don't include the way biological material seeps into flooring, into drywall, into the wood underneath the drywall, spreading further than any camera could capture, further than any outline could contain. The investigators documented the event. You have to erase it, and that is an entirely different thing. The suit you're wearing. Full Tyvek, double-gloved, respirator sealed, boot covers taped at the ankle, offers protection up to a point. Bloodborne pathogens, airborne contamination, hepatitis, HIV, biohazards that don't care what you intended when you walked in. But the suit doesn't protect your mind. Nothing does. You move through the room slowly, methodically. You've been trained to compartmentalize, to see the scene as a problem, a technical challenge, a set of tasks. Some days that works. Some days you pick up an object from the floor and realize it's a photograph, a birthday, a child, a moment from before, and the compartmentalization cracks. You keep moving anyway, because the job doesn't stop for that. Most people have no idea this profession exists. They think the police clean it. They think the hospital handles it. They think someone official steps in with the right gear and the right authority and makes it disappear before the family comes home. There is no official. There is no government program. There is a small private industry of people who chose this or stumbled into it and decided to stay. The average crime scene cleaner earns between $35,000 and $80,000 a year depending on the region and the caseload. Some earn more. Some leave after their first job and never come back. The turnover rate is not discussed openly. Neither is the psychological cost. You're 40 minutes in. The room is worse than the intake report suggested. They always are. The smell has become something you're no longer registering consciously, which means it's inside you now, which is something you've learned not to think about. There's a corner of the room you've been avoiding, not because you don't know what's there, because you do. You move toward it now. You have a protocol. You have your tools. You have 9 years of this work behind you and a family at home who asks you sometimes how your day was. You always say, fine, tiring, normal. You've never once told the truth. The chemicals you're using are not household products, enzymatic biocleaners that break down organic matter at the molecular level, hospital-grade disinfectants, specialized solvents for materials that porous surfaces have already absorbed. You're not cleaning. You are chemically undoing what happened here. And even then, even when the surface is clean, when the air reading clears, when the UV light shows nothing, you know the walls remember. Wood remembers. Old homes hold things. You've worked jobs where you came back a second time because the smell returned in summer heat, because the material had gone deeper than the first pass reached. The family will move back into this space. They will eat here, sleep here, raise children here maybe. That is why you go back. That is why the second pass matters. There's a moment in every difficult job, and you've learned to expect it, to watch for it, where the work stops feeling abstract, where something snaps you out of the protocol. Maybe it's the handwriting on a grocery list still stuck to the refrigerator. Maybe it's the coffee mug still sitting on the counter, handle turned outward like someone was about to grab it. Maybe it's the book left face down on the nightstand, spine cracked to hold the page. Someone was in the middle of a life and the job you're doing. The unglamorous, unreported, biologically hazardous job that no documentary fully captures is the act of allowing someone else to return to that life, or to close it, or to grieve it. You are not solving the crime. You are making it possible for the survivors to survive what comes after. 6 hours in, the room is almost clear. Your knees hurt. Your back is done. The respirator has left marks across your face that won't fade until tomorrow. You filled 4 biohazard bags that will be transported to a licensed disposal facility because this material cannot go to a landfill, cannot be burned in a standard incinerator, cannot simply be thrown away. Nothing about this job is simple. You photograph the completed space, document the materials used, log the hours. You'll write a report that the family or the property manager will receive. Clinical, professional, accurate. That will tell them nothing about what it actually took to produce it. You step outside. You pull the respirator off. The air hits you like cold water. You sit on the step just for a moment, just for 60 seconds, and you let yourself feel whatever is trying to come up. Not because you're weak, because you've learned that 60 seconds now is better than what happens when you don't take it. Tomorrow there will be another call. There is always another call, a different address, a different scene, a different story that ended badly in a room that someone now needs to make livable again. You'll drive there, you'll pull on the suit, you'll seal the mask, you'll walk through the door, and you'll do it again because someone has to, because the police leave, because the investigators close the case, because the world moves on, and you are the only thing standing between what happened in that room and the people who have to go on living. Most people will never know you existed. The room will be clean. The smell will be gone. A family will walk back in and maybe feel like they can breathe again. And you'll be at the next address, pulling on the mask, walking through another door. You just saw what happens after the police leave. Not the investigation, not the headlines, not the press conference. The part nobody talks about. The part one person has to walk into, alone, so that someone else can keep living. If this hit you differently than you expected, you're not the only one. Hit the like button right now, not for the algorithm, but because the people doing this job will never get a standing ovation, never get a headline, never get a thank you from the family they'll never meet. This is the closest thing they get. And if you want to keep going deeper into the jobs that hold the world together from the darkest corners, the ones nobody films, nobody glamorizes, nobody prepares you for, subscribe. Because next time, we're going somewhere even fewer people dare to look. The door's already open. You just have to decide if you're walking through it.